Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Brian, moderator for this webinar. Welcome everyone for today's webinar, New HIPAA Training for the Compliance Officer 2024. I would now like to introduce our presenter for today, Brhasn L. Tuttle. Brhasn is a certified professional in health IT, certified HIPAA professional, certified HIPAA administrator, certified business resilience auditor, certified information systems security professional with over 18 years experience in health IT and compliance consulting. I would now like to hand over the floor to the one of the best speaker of healthcare. Over to you, Brad.
Without further ado, let's get started here. But the HIPAA regulations, they've been around a long time. They were signed under Clinton in 1996, known as the Health Insurance Portability Act of 1996. It's also known as the Kennedy-Kassebaum Act, based upon the two co-sponsors of the bill. The concept says patients have a civil right of access to their medical records. Patients have a civil right to be able to know who has viewed their medical records. Patients have a civil right to be notified if those medical records are breached. Patients have a civil right that those medical records be secured to reasonable and appropriate levels. During this time that OCR, the Office for Civil Rights, became the enforcement body. And then through the Obama years, we had some pretty big changes, especially with the 2009 American Recovery and Reinvestment Act. That's when the HIPAA High-Tech Act came out. Now, it was the final Omnibus Rule of 2013. So that's just one other little aspect here relating to bottom line, if we're negligent with our responsibilities under these federal laws, we could be held liable also under state laws. So privacy and security aren't even in the acronym HIPAA. What's the difference in the HIPAA privacy rule and the HIPAA security rule? The privacy rule basically it's just how your information can be shared, to whom it can be shared with, in any format, your rights to it, whether it be verbal, paper, or electronic. The security rule deals only with electronic protected health information. Privacy deals with PHI in all forms. Security deals only with PHI in electronic form. It sets the standards we must implement to provide common sense safeguards. Now, one more time, and then we'll move on. Privacy is defined as the right of an individual to keep his or her individual health information from being disclosed. It encompasses controlling who's authorized to access that information and under what conditions patient information may be accessed, used, and or disclosed to a third party. It deals with all PHI. Security. Mechanisms in place to protect the privacy of electronic health information includes the ability to control electronic access to patient information as well as to safeguard patient information from unauthorized electronic disclosure, alteration, loss, or destruction. Personal responsibility. If I go into your medical record with no business being in your medical record, that's a violation of your civil rights. That carries up to 1 year in federal prison just for me being nosy. Never ever share access controls. Never share. No one should ever be sharing their username and password with anyone else. Can we be fined even if a breach doesn't occur? Yes, because remember, this is not just about a breach. It's also about access. A patient says, I want you to email me my medical record. Do not encrypt it. I don't want it encrypted. I accept the risks. You have to send it unencrypted. When we look at the history, but when we look at the amount of fines all through 2012, all through 2013, that's nothing. We have individual fines bigger than the entire year 2013. Business associates, there's a lot going on here. So business associates are individuals or entities who create, receive, maintain, or store protected health information on behalf of a covered entity. Now, who is not a business associate? A painter is not a business associate. Educate your staff consistent to your risk. Above and beyond here, just sign the business associate agreement. They want to see proof. Okay, telemedicine, shifting gears. If telemedicine is being used, yes, you could use something like FaceTime. It is not HIPAA compliant. But if the patient accepts the risks and they're okay with doing this, You can do that. You can email with patients unencrypted if they accept the risk. Important point, yes, you can get verbal acknowledgement. So a patient can give you verbal acknowledgement that they want to share, they want to add their brother or sister or whoever to their authorization forms. They can do it verbally. Now, when you do get verbal authorization, make sure that you document that authorization in their medical record. When the authorization was given, who took the authorization, what the authorization was for. Okay, and by the way, I don't recommend using a non-HIPAA compliant telemedicine solution. Don't download health information to the local hard drive in a telecommuting environment. Do not download PHI to a local hard drive. Always, always, any machines, any computers that are being used to access, transmit, and especially store PHI really should be encrypted. They should be hardware encrypted. Loss or theft of a encrypted device is not a reportable breach under HIPAA. A telecommuting environment should be paperless. All right, let's talk about some changes for 2024. And most of these are HIPAA privacy rule changes. So HIPAA privacy rule changes that take effect in 2024. Changes to the right of access. Changes relating to care coordination and information sharing. The requirement to deliver copies of PHI in any form and format required by applicable state or other laws. Eased identity verification. This prohibits covered entities from imposing unreasonable verification measures such as notarized signatures or proof of ID in person when other credible, more convenient methods are available. Changes to fees for obtaining PHI. Requests need to be clear, conspicuous, and specific and may be made orally. Must modify the rules related to minimum necessary standards. So covered entities are expressly permitted to disclose PHI to social services agencies. Eliminates the requirement for direct healthcare providers to obtain or to document their good faith efforts to obtain patients' written acknowledgement of the receipt of the provider's notice of privacy practices. Any breach of over 500 medical records must be posted on the OCR's portal. So ransomware, let's talk about ransomware. This is the #1 way data is breached. Ransomware comes through fake emails. Ransomware is very intelligent. It seeks out file shares, folders, and databases. It will attack them and it will take them essentially hostage. Phishing is a fake, as I said, it's a fake email. So OCR made it official in 2019. A ransomware attack, if it attaches to unencrypted data, is a HIPAA breach. So let's talk about information blocking. And this is part of the 21st Century Cures Act. And so basically information blocking is a practice by a health IT developer of certified health IT, health information network, health information exchange, or a provider that, except as required by law or specified by HHS as a reasonable and necessary activity, is likely to interfere with access, exchange, or use of electronic health information. So here are some examples. So there are 8 categories of exceptions, though, and just like HIPAA, it's governed by the OCR. So there's 5 exceptions that involve not fulfilling requests when someone or an entity is accessing, exchanging, or using health information. 3 exceptions that involve procedures for fulfilling requests. So exceptions that involve not fulfilling requests. The security exception, exceptions that involve procedures for fulfilling requests. Let's talk a little bit about email. Yes, we can use email to communicate with patients, to communicate with other providers or other business associates if we apply reasonable safeguards. We need to limit the amount and type of information if we're sending an unencrypted email. What if a patient reaches out to you? What if they text you? What if they email you? What if they reach out to you through Facebook Messenger or something like that? These are not HIPAA compliant solutions. Can you use email to communicate with other providers or other types of technologies? Of course. Personal device use. Bring your own device. BYOD. Do not allow PHI to be written to the mobile device. Make sure latest and greatest updates are done. Also, educate staff on common cybersecurity threats.
Thanks, Brian. That was a wonderful webinar.
I think that's all I have. I hope you guys enjoyed that, and with that, I'll wrap it up.
Thanks, Brian. That was a wonderful session. Thank you, everyone, for participating. You all may disconnect now. All have a great day ahead. Bye-bye. Take care.
Thank you.